Hey everybody, welcome back!
When I was admitted overnight, my parents said, "We're not babysitters," and left my 4-year-old alone. Then they took my sister's kids to the beach. The next morning, my grandma sat by my hospital bed and listened without interrupting. She made one call. 30 minutes later, my parents were speeding back into town, begging her not to file anything. The nurse asked me who was watching my daughter and I said, "My parents." That's when everything went to hell. I was in the emergency room at midnight, hooked up to N4, barely able to sit up from the pain in my abdomen. They just told me I needed to stay overnight for observation. Possible appendicitis. Emma, my 4-year-old, was home with my mom and dad. At least that's what I thought. I called my mom to let her know I wouldn't be home until morning. She picked up on the 4th ring. "What? Not, are you okay? Not, how are you feeling? Just what? Mom, they're keeping me overnight. Can you make sure Emma has breakfast in the morning? There's cereal in." "Melissa, we're not babysitters." I actually laughed. I thought she was joking. "What? Your father and I have plans tomorrow. We're leaving at 6 a.m. We already put Emma back in your apartment and locked the door." The room started spinning. "You left her alone? She's 4 years old. She's fine. She's asleep. You'll be home by morning anyway." "Mom, I'm in the hospital. What if I'm not?" "Then figure it out. We're not canceling our plans because you can't handle your own kid." She hung up. I sat there staring at my phone, shaking so hard the 4-needle hurt. My daughter. Alone. In our apartment. At midnight. Can you even imagine what was going through my head? I tried to get out of bed, but the nurse stopped me. I was crying, yelling that I needed to go home. They threatened to sedate me. Finally, I called my neighbor, Mrs. Chin, an elderly woman who barely knew me, and begged her to check on Emma. She did. Thank God she did. Emma was awake, crying, calling for me. Mrs. Chin stayed with her the rest of the night. The next morning, I found out where my parents' plans were. My sister Vanessa called me, sent me a photo. My parents, my sister, her husband, and her 3 kids, all at the beach. Matching sun hats, sandcastles, ice cream. The caption, "Best grandparents ever. Thanks for the surprise beach day, Mom and Dad." I stared at that photo for 10 minutes straight. They wouldn't watch my daughter during a medical emergency, but they drove 2 hours to take my sister's kids to the beach. What would you have done? Seriously, tell me. Because I was so angry I couldn't even cry anymore. Then my grandma walked in. She's my dad's mom, and honestly we hadn't been that close. She lived an hour away, didn't call much. But somehow she'd heard I was in the hospital. She showed up with flowers and this calm, steady look on her face. "Tell me everything," she said. So I did. I told her about the phone call. About Emma being left alone. About the beach photos. I showed her Vanessa's post. My hands were shaking the whole time. Grandma didn't interrupt once. She just sat there nodding, her face getting harder and harder. When I finished, she stood up, pulled out her phone and made one call. I don't know who she called. She stepped out into the hallway and I heard her voice. Low, sharp, the kind of tone that makes your blood run cold. She was only gone 5 minutes. When she came back, she smiled at me. "Get some rest, honey." "Grandma, what did you do?" "Nothing they didn't deserve." 30 minutes later, my phone exploded. My mom, my dad, Vanessa, all calling, all texting. I ignored them. Then my mom showed up at the hospital, still in her beach cover-up, sand on her sandals, out of breath like she'd been running. Melissa, please. Tell your grandmother not to file anything. Please." I just stared at her. "File what?" My dad appeared behind her, red-faced, sweating. "This is ridiculous. We didn't do anything wrong. You're blowing this out of proportion." Blowing it out of proportion? I sat up even though it hurt. "You left my 4-year-old daughter alone in the middle of the night so you could take Vanessa's kids to the beach. She was asleep. And you were fine. I was in the hospital." My mom grabbed my hand. She actually grabbed my hand. "Please, Melissa. Your grandmother is threatening to call CPS. On us. She's saying we endangered Emma. This could ruin everything. Please, just tell her it was a misunderstanding." I pulled my hand away. "Do you think I should have forgiven them right then and there? Because I'm telling you, I wanted to scream. But I didn't say anything. I just looked at my grandma, who was standing in the corner with her arms crossed, watching my parents squirm. And for the first time in my life, I felt like someone was actually on my side. What happened next? Well, let me just say, my parents learned real quick that grandma doesn't bluff. My mom was literally begging. Tears running down her face, mascara smudged, still wearing that ridiculous beach cover-up with little flamingos on it. My dad stood behind her, looking like he wanted to disappear into the floor. "Melissa, please. Your grandmother has already called a lawyer." "A lawyer?" "She's talking about filing for emergency custody of Emma. She can't do that. We're her grandparents. I looked at Grandma. She hadn't moved from her spot by the window, arms still crossed, face completely calm. Actually, she said, I can. Especially when there's documented evidence of child endangerment. Documented. My dad's voice cracked. What documentation? Grandma held up her phone. Mrs. Chin, Melissa's neighbor, gave a statement. The hospital has records showing Melissa was admitted at 11:47 p.m. and that she was in distress trying to leave because her minor child was left unattended. The night nurse documented everything. And then there's this. She turned her phone around. It was a screenshot of Vanessa's beach post, timestamped 9:23 a.m. Best grandparents ever. Posted while I was still hooked up to Info and Emma had been alone for hours. My mother went pale. That's not fair. We didn't know it would be taken that way. You didn't know abandoning a 4-year-old would be taken badly? I couldn't hold it in anymore. Mom, what did you think would happen? You're so dramatic, Melissa. You always have been. Emma was fine. She cried for 3 hours. My voice broke. Mrs. Chin said she was screaming for me, terrified, and you were buying my sister's kids ice cream. The room went silent. Then my dad tried a different approach. Look, sweetie, we made a mistake. We're sorry. But getting lawyers involved. That's extreme. We're family. Family, I repeated. Right. Where was that energy when I called you from the ER? Grandma's phone buzzed. He glanced at it and smiled, actually smiled. Oh, perfect timing. What? My mom looked like she might throw up. That was my lawyer. He's filed a formal complaint with the county. Child Protective Services will be contacting you within 48 hours for an interview. My dad exploded. You can't do this. We didn't hurt anyone. You abandoned a toddler. Grandma's voice was ice. In the middle of the night. During a medical emergency. While you took your other grandchildren on vacation. Do you understand how that looks? My mom grabbed my arm again. Melissa, stop her. Please, think about Emma. Do you want her caught up in a CPS investigation? Do you want this in the family forever? And here's the thing, she almost got me. For a second I almost caved. Because she was right. I didn't want Emma traumatized by all this. But then Grandma said something that changed everything. Melissa doesn't have to do anything. This isn't about her anymore. This is about me as a concerned family member reporting what I witnessed. And what I witnessed was a pattern. A pattern? My dad looked confused. Grandma walked closer and I swear the temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. I've been doing some digging. Talked to a few people. Found out some interesting things. My mom's face went from pale to gray. Want to tell Melissa about Thanksgiving 3 years ago? Grandma asked. When she had the flu and asked you to watch Emma for one afternoon, and you said no because you were helping Vanessa set up her new house? I remembered that. I'd been so sick I could barely stand, and I'd had to take Emma to urgent care with me because my parents were too busy. Or last summer, Grandma continued, when Melissa's car broke down and she needed a ride to pick Emma up from daycare. You were 20 minutes away. You said no. But that same week, you drove 3 hours to watch Vanessa's kids so she could go to a spa weekend. How did Grandma know all this? I'd never told her any of it. My dad stammered. Those are different situations. Different how? I found my voice. Different because Vanessa's your favorite. We don't have favorites, my mom snapped. Then why is it always her? I was yelling now and I didn't care. Why does she get the beach trips and the babysitting and the help with her mortgage and the birthday parties and I get figure it out yourself? Silence. My mom opened her mouth. Closed it. Opened it again. Vanessa needs more help. She has 3 kids. I needed help too. I needed you at the hospital. I needed you to keep my daughter safe for one night. My dad tried to step forward but Grandma blocked him. Here's what's going to happen, she said. You're going to sit down with Melissa and Emma and apologize. A real apology. Then you're going to attend family counseling. I've already found a therapist. And you're going to make some changes. Changes. My mom looked terrified. Equal treatment. Equal time. Equal love. Or I proceed with the custody petition. Do you think she was bluffing? Because I sure didn't. My dad's phone rang. He looked at it and his face went white. It's Vanessa. Don't answer it, my mom hissed. He answered it anyway. Put it on speaker without thinking. Vanessa's voice filled the room. Dad, what the hell? Grandma just called me and said you guys abandoned Melissa's kid? Is that true? Because people are already asking me about it, and I look like an idiot posting beach photos while. My dad hung up. But it was too late. I'd heard it. Vanessa wasn't concerned about Emma. She was concerned about how she looked. Get out, I said quietly. Melissa, my mom started. Get Out. They left. Finally, Grandma sat down in the chair next to my bed. You okay, sweetheart? I started crying. Not sad crying. Angry crying. The kind where you can't catch your breath. Why do they hate me so much? They don't hate you. They're just selfish. And they've gotten away with it for too long. How did you know? About Thanksgiving in the car. Grandma smiled. I didn't really. I suspected. So I called your old roommate from college. She told me everything. Apparently, you've been dealing with this for years and never said anything. I didn't want to cause drama. Well, too bad. I'm causing it for you. I laughed through my tears. What happens now? Grandma patted my hand. Now, we wait. CPS will do their investigation. Your parents will panic. And somewhere in all that panic, they're going to realize what they almost lost. But here's what Grandma didn't know, what none of us knew yet. My parents weren't just scared of CPS. They were scared of something much bigger. Something I was about to find out about that would explain everything. And trust me, when I figured it out, everything made sense. All the favoritism, all the excuses, all of it. What do you think it was? Because I guarantee you won't guess it. 2 days later, I was home with Emma when Grandma showed up at my door with coffee and a strange look on her face. We need to talk, she said, walking straight into my living room. She gave Emma some coloring books, then turned to me. I found out why. Why what? Why your parents have been treating you and Vanessa so differently all these years. My stomach dropped. Grandma. Your parents are over $100,000 in debt. Bad investments 5 years ago. They've been drowning ever since. I stared at her. What does that have to do with me? Vanessa's husband Marcus is a financial advisor. He's been helping them avoid bankruptcy. And in exchange, your parents have been doing whatever keeps Marcus happy. Free childcare for Vanessa's kids, money here and there, beach trips, whatever he wants. I felt sick. So they've been choosing her because they owe her husband? They convinced themselves that keeping Marcus happy was more important than treating their daughters equally. Grandma pulled out her phone. There's more. When I threatened the CPS investigation, they panicked and told Marcus everything. He told Vanessa. Look at this. She showed me a text from Vanessa to our mom. You left Melissa's kid alone? Are you insane? Do you know what people are going to say about our family? I don't care about your financial problems. You fix this now or Marcus and I are done helping you. I read it twice. She's mad because it makes her look bad. Not because Emma was in danger. Keep reading. Mom's response. We're sorry. We'll fix it. Please don't let Marcus drop us. Vanessa. Too late. He already said he's done managing your accounts. He won't be associated with people who are morally compromised. Congratulations, you ruined everything. I looked up. So Marcus dropped them anyway? Yep. Now they're scrambling, but no one reputable will take them on. They're looking at bankruptcy. Part of me wanted to feel victorious, but mostly I just felt tired. What do I do, Grandma? She sat down next to me. You don't owe them anything. But people don't change until they hit rock bottom. Maybe let them apologize. Really apologize. And then decide what kind of relationship you want. On your terms. That afternoon my parents showed up. They looked terrible. Can we come in? My mom asked quietly. Emma ran past me and hugged them before I could answer. My mom broke down crying, holding her. I'm so sorry, baby. Grandma's so sorry. Once Emma went to play, we stood there in awkward silence. Say it, I told them. My mom took a shaky breath. We failed you. For years. We got so caught up in our financial mess that we forgot what mattered. We forgot you. My dad nodded. I convinced myself you were strong enough that you didn't need us. But that was just me being a coward. You left my daughter alone, I said, my voice breaking. She's 4 years old. I know. My mom was crying again. I will never forgive myself. I looked at them, really looked, and saw actual remorse for the first time in years. One condition, I said. You treat Emma exactly the same as Vanessa's kids. Same energy, same trips, same love. And if you can't do that, you don't get to be in her life at all. Yes, my mom said immediately. Whatever you need. And you apologized to Emma. A real apology. I called Emma back in. My parents knelt down and my mom said, Emma, sweetheart, Grandma and Grandpa did something very wrong. We left you alone when you needed us and that was scary. We're so sorry. Can you forgive us? Emma thought about it. Then she said, you have to promise not to do it again. My dad smiled through tears. We promise. Hey, I forgive you. Just like that. Over the next few weeks things changed. My parents came over twice a week. They actually babysat when I needed them to. Took Emma to the park, the zoo, baked cookies with her. We started family counseling. It was awkward and painful, but we kept going. Then one day Vanessa called. Melissa. she said quietly. Can we talk? About what? About everything. I saw the texts Mom accidentally sent to the family chat. The ones where she admitted what they did. I didn't know they left Emma alone. I swear. But you knew they always chose you. Silence. Yeah, I knew. And I let it happen because I liked being the favorite. Her voice cracked. I'm sorry, Melissa. You deserved better. Emma deserved better. It wasn't enough. But it was something. I can't just forgive you overnight, I said. I know. I just wanted you to know I'm sorry. 6 months later things weren't perfect. But they were better. My parents kept their promises. Emma had equal time, equal love, equal everything. Vanessa and I weren't best friends, but we were talking. Working on it. And Grandma came over every Sunday for dinner, telling Emma stories and winking at me like we shared the best secret in the world. One night, tucking Emma into bed, she asked, Mommy, do Grandma and Grandpa love me now? They always loved you, baby. They just forgot how to show it for a while. But they remember now? Yeah, I said, kissing her forehead. They remember now. And I think they actually did. So that's my story. Messy and complicated, but that's real life. People screw up. Families fall apart. And sometimes they find their way back together. What do you think? Did I make the right choice, or should I have cut them off completely? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to know what you would have done. And if this story hit home for you, hit that like button. Something bothered you, tell me in the comments. I read everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
Today I'm reacting to your absolutely demented wedding drama. These are all from the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. If you haven't followed that subreddit, what are you waiting for? Get involved in the community, share your stories. I'm having so much fun reading them. And don't forget to like and comment and upvote other people's stuff. And maybe, just maybe, you might see your story on the channel. God, now I'm gonna be doing these videos and like getting inspo. Some of you watch these videos and you're like,
how do I not be a bridezilla? Oh, I will watch Charlotte's videos.
I will watch my videos and say, okay, how do I be even more demented on my wedding day? Inspo! Let's make Pinterest boards! Am I the a-hole for leaving my husband during our wedding day? This is from Reddit user Qley. I, 28 female, left my husband, 29 male, on our wedding day, and now I'm questioning if I was in the wrong. Well, I'll tell you, honey. But first, we've been together for 5 years and engaged for 1. Throughout our relationship, there were moments of doubt, but I always brushed them off, thinking it was just pre-wedding jitters. Okay. I'm gonna need you to elaborate, honey. Our families and friends were excited and the planning went smoothly. My husband is a charming and charismatic guy and everyone seems to adore him. The wedding day itself started off beautifully. The weather was perfect, the venue was stunning, and everything was going according to plan. I feel like I was living a dream as I walked down the aisle toward him. The ceremony was emotional and I was overwhelmed with joy and love as we exchanged our vows. After the ceremony, everything seems great. What's going on, bestie? We moved to the reception. The venue was decorated with twinkling lights, flowers, and everything I've ever dreamed of. As everything progressed, everyone seemed to be having a great time. There were speeches, toasts, and lots of dancing. I felt so happy and blessed thinking about the life we were about to start together. However, during the reception, something happened that changed everything. I went to the bridal suite to freshen up and overheard my husband having a conversation with his best man just outside the door. Oh God, did anyone else's heart rates just like pitter patter, pitter patter? At first I thought it was just typical guy talk, but then I heard him say something that made my blood run cold.